For me, my interests are watching movies, shows, anime, and video games. Most women might consider a man uninteresting or boring if those are his only hobbies. I do not know if it is just me or if other men face this issue. It always makes me feel somewhat flustered when they ask me this because I do not know what I should say. Story 1, you just say what you like to do. Otherwise, what happens when you are together as a couple and she does not like those things? Are you going to give it all up? Some men do that and they are miserable because they are just a shell, pretending to be what she wants him to be. Be better than that. Find someone who lets you be yourself. Story 2, you would have to find another homebody like you. There are definitely women who share your interests, but not many. I would bet most of those women are here on Reddit too. Story 3, I abide by the idea that a man should have 3 hobbies. One that keeps you fit. One you do with friends. One that is just for fun. If you feel like you are boring, figure out some things you would be interested in. Story 4, just tell her what you like. If she shares your interests, then you have something to bond over. If not, and she is interested in you, then it is an opportunity for both of you to bond over the interests you do not share to see if either of you likes them as well. Story 5, people are not boring because of their hobbies. People are boring if they are boring. Outside of lifting weights and thinking about the Roman Empire, I more or less have the same hobbies. I have never had a woman think I am boring because of them. The only thing they find weird is the Roman Empire, so just do not think about the Roman Empire. Story 6, I tell her I like to make memes and tease federal agents on the internet. I also enjoy playing with friends on Discord. Oh yes, and I like to whitewater raft and rock climb. Story 7, being a movie enthusiast is a valid hobby and can be a way to bond if your taste in movies overlaps even a little. Movie dates are a nice start. If you are lucky, she might be interested in anime or video games as well, but that is more rare. You need to be more careful when checking for that. Story 8, if she is attractive, you say, I help needy children, read to the blind, donate blood, volunteer at the senior center, and rescue adorable homeless puppies. Story 9, all your interests listed are passive hobbies, merely watching something, except for video games which involve some participation. What do you actually like to do, actively, besides just sitting down watching stuff all day? Story 10, you could always be more specific about the types of movies, anime, or video games you are interested in, what you find particularly engaging about them, and any related activities you enjoy, such as attending conventions or going to movie theaters with friends and discussing the film afterward over drinks. Usually, people are more interested in your passion and engagement than in the hobby itself. If you are struggling, you could mention a hobby you have not tried but have always wanted to. You might even find someone to accompany you to that pottery class you have wanted to try. Story 11, for me, my interests are watching movies, shows, anime, and video games. If that's what you like to do, then that's what you like to do. You're only boring if you can't talk about them. What is your favorite movie, show, anime, or video game? Why is that one your favorite, and what separates it from others in the genre? If I wanted to get into watching movies, shows, anime, or playing video games, how would you suggest I start? What point in your life made you realize that you liked that more than the average person? What is, in your opinion, the best way to enjoy them? Do you have any controversial opinions about your hobbies? What is the mainstream opinion, and why do you feel differently? What other hobbies do people have that interact with your hobbies? If your hobby is watching movies and you can talk about your annual trip to the theater for a rerun of Rocky Horror, why you feel Roger Ebert is overrated and David Ehrlich is better, and you have a nuanced take on why Tommy Wiseau's The Room is the best film of all time, then you're interesting. If your hobby is something most people think of as interesting, like base jumping, but the only thing you can say about it is, I like it because it's fun, then you're boring. Story 12. Honestly, you should answer honestly. If that is a problem for the woman, she did you a great favor by telling you not to pursue her. Save your energy for someone else. Story 13. I do not blame you for getting flustered when 90% of women say a man playing video games is unattractive, and I am guessing the numbers for animation are similar. Story 14. I would tell her what I am into. Biking, camping, hiking, walking the dog. If that is a problem, you are not compatible. Problem solved. Story 15. Well, many people do not find sitting on the couch to be very enjoyable. Consider exploring some hobbies if you want to change that. Otherwise, keep looking. You will eventually find someone who likes that too. Story 16. Shooting rats with a .22 at the garbage dump while on ketamine with the boys. Chicks love that. Sports, social life, hiking, animals, safety, ketamine. The perfect combination. Story 17. I like to play tennis. If your hobby is watching television and playing video games, you can simply say that. Not all women prefer outdoorsy types. Story 18. I think the trick is to be really specific, even if it is just a list of hobbies. For example, I like watching movies, but I specifically love the found footage genre, so I say, I am a found footage fan. Similarly, you can use specific terms like, I love Ice Guy, or I play Japanese role-playing games, or whatever your favorite is. Chances are, if she gets it, she will appreciate your hobbies anyway. Story 19. You should always answer honestly. That way, it will never come back to harm you because you pretended to be interested in something you were not. Some people or women might enjoy cartoons and similar activities. However, I believe the best approach is complete honesty. Many people are surprised when I say I love hiking, camping, and spending time outdoors. But different people have different preferences. Story 20. Fun, what is it? As a computer professional, that would be a hard question for me. Fortunately, not all women ask it. If they do, I guess you can only be honest. Story 21. I was thinking the same when I was single. The hobbies I liked seemed too geeky to talk about with an attractive girl, so I started a hobby they liked. I ended up genuinely enjoying it. That's how I got a match in online dating and used it as a way to start conversations and flirt. Story 22. It's like when someone asks what your favorite song is, and you immediately forget every song you have ever liked. Story 23. Go learn a sport and then you can say you do a sport for fun. Now you are a manly man and she cannot resist you. Story 24. I like video games, sports, and woodworking because I enjoy those activities. If you are interested in television and film, tell them that. It is a simple question. They are looking for someone who shares their interests. If you say you like hiking and rock climbing and they are not outdoorsy, they might not like you as much. But if they are a homebody, maybe they want someone to cuddle on the couch and watch television with. I once dated girls who hated hiking and the outdoors. If they had been honest and just said, I like to chill on the couch and watch YouTube videos with The Office playing in the background, I would not have forced them to hike to that waterfall. Story 25. As an alternative to a direct answer, you could come up with obviously wrong answers like underwater basket weaving or selling corn on the side of the road. You can answer directly after she realizes you are joking and you have had a laugh. Story 26. I get the feeling, but honestly, just say it and then let them know you are interested in exploring other hobbies or something they are into as well. You have to realize there are women who like anime and play video games just like you. Are you trying your best to find people who have hobbies similar to yours? Story 27. With the truth. If she thinks this truth, being my interests, is boring, then I might have dodged a bullet or at least dodged someone who probably would not fit me anyway. I do not care what most women would think since I am not dating to find many women. I am dating to find the one. I do not just need to fit her either. She needs to fit me too. I am doing fine alone and not going to give up my freedom for someone with no interest in my quirks and personality. Story 28. You say what you like to do for fun. It is not difficult. If she gives you grief for normal harmless hobbies, then she is not worth your time. Most people are not actually that interesting anyway. Just be yourself. Story 29. If you think these interests make you boring to women and you want to avoid appearing boring to women, get into other activities. If you do not find these interests boring, then you want to be with a woman who also thinks that way. Most women perceiving you as boring for that reason is just a strong filter. Why frame this as how to answer the question? Story 30. Just be honest. If she does not like it, you find out early that it will not be a good fit. Stop playing games of deceit. Story 31. You tell her your hobbies. If you feel like you do not have anything to say, then maybe it is time to find some hobbies. Gaming is a hobby. I do not think most women care if it is not life-crippling gaming. I game while my girlfriend reads or plays her Nintendo Switch. If you think it is affecting your dating life, then maybe find another hobby that sparks better conversation. You do not have to stop your other hobbies to do that. Ideas could be getting a scuba license, water sports, team sports, skiing or snowboarding, building models, bonsai, finding artwork you enjoy making, or reading. That is a big green flag. The list goes on. By finding another hobby, I mean to add another, not change who you are. You can always expand your horizons. Plus, hobbies are great ways to meet people. The more hobbies you have, the more chances you find a partner with a similar hobby. Story 32. I just say what I like to do. Some of my hobbies are the same as yours. Movies, anime, and video games. I will not stop enjoying my hobbies to get a woman's approval, and I never ask a woman to stop enjoying or doing activities she likes to please me. I do not give up my hobbies, and I do not pressure anyone to give up their hobbies either. Story 33. I like watching movies. I have just watched the film and it was really good. Have you seen it? I like various aspects of it. What did you think? Story 34. As a pilot, hiker, scuba diver, runner, and mountain climber, I have learned that my hobbies are not particularly interesting to women. I also read, exercise, play video games occasionally, and try to get involved with volunteering when I have time and energy. Women think they want a pilot, but then they see all the work I put into actually flying and preparing the plane and do not pay attention. I would suggest choosing something that keeps you in shape, something you can do socially in person, preferably something active, though as long as you are being social and sociable, it is good. Also, have one activity that is just for you but is detached from electronics. Story 35. I have the same hobbies as you, original poster, plus some sports, history, and philosophy. You have to understand that the reason most women find these hobbies boring is because they actually have boring hobbies themselves. Watching streaming services, shopping, trying out new trendy places, and they are waiting for you to make them interested in something better. However, it is an illusion. They all want adventurous men like a pilot or scuba diver, but when they realize how much effort and time it takes to do these things, they will not participate anymore and complain that you are never there. Find women who like the same things as you and want a man to share it with, not many of them though. Or find a woman who does things on her own but does not need to share it with her man, not many of them either, and you will have to face the fact they will meet men who share the same hobbies. Alternatively, change your entire way of life for women, but it is not sustainable, has no guarantee of success, and must last your whole life because after the chase you have to keep her interested. Story 36. It's not about what you do, but how you describe it. Also, enthusiasm goes a long way. Example, what do you do for fun? Oh, I watch movies, shows, anime, and game a bit. Versus, what do you do for fun? I love to watch movies. The twist in The Usual Suspects was really good. I was awestruck the first time I saw Argonath, the two massive statues on each side of the river in Lord of the Rings. Sometimes I just want to turn off my brain for a couple of hours, and then it's old Arnold to the rescue. I also like to game a bit. Everything from cooperative games to brain twisters. The feeling of taking down a difficult boss or pulling off a daring move with friends is unlike anything else. In other words, don't just say, I game, watch shows and movies. Expand a bit, include why you do it, have a couple of examples on hand, and make it a fun little story. Delivery is also important. Use your voice as the instrument it is, within reason, of course. If you are normally calm and quiet, suddenly becoming super animated will come across as jarring, but showing a bit of excitement for the things you are interested in is never wrong. Story 37. Be yourself. My wife says her favorite thing about me is my nerdiness. Not stereotypical nerdiness such as being socially awkward, but my interests in things like chess, math, and cosmology. Also, you are not an expert on women, so do not use lazy stereotypes. Women also love movies, shows, anime, and video games. Many men do not like these things. You cannot be compatible with everyone. Focus on those with whom you are compatible. Story 38. The reason women and men might find that uninteresting is because there is very little depth or personality in just sitting there consuming media. Develop yourself and your personality more. Be able to hold conversations beyond just talking about a show. I also enjoy video games, reading, and streaming shows, but that is only a small part of who I am. Have activities that people want to join and share the fun in. Build things and share experiences. For example, I like food and wine. I am knowledgeable about these topics, watch related shows, discuss, and share recipes. I can connect this to other subjects like culture, history, and travel to have meaningful conversations with people. Men and women still have different tastes. Many men dedicate a large part of their life to watching a specific sports team, which women often find boring. Try exploring things that women are more traditionally interested in if you want to talk with them. You may be surprised. Story 39. I told my wife what I am into: outdoors activities. We went rock climbing on our first date, and I proposed by leaving a ring at the top of a rock wall, along with some notes about our adventures. Your instinct about women finding hobbies boring is probably true. Either get some interesting hobbies or find a girl who enjoys television and video games. I dated a few girls like that when I was in college. Once, actually. Story 40. Be more specific about what you do instead of giving a generic, boring answer. For example, what are some things you have enjoyed recently? Story 41. Telling a woman you like video games is a surefire way to get ignored. I talk about my interests, although they are not activities I do frequently. Story 42. Pick up a hobby, brother. One of mine is disc golf. The cost to enter is minimal. It is free after you buy a couple of discs. You will get fresh air, sunlight, and exercise, all while playing a very realistic virtual sports game. You will also meet friendly people. One of them might even offer you some cannabis. Story 43. Yeah, man, you just say what you like to do and you're generalizing women. Also, no, you're not deemed boring because of this. You're deemed boring because of how you go about it. Women will ask me, what do you like to do for fun? I say, I really just like to relax when I get some downtime. I try to watch new shows on Netflix, but if I can, I enjoy spending time with my family. That is as boring as it gets. But I worded it right. Story 44. You need actual hobbies that improve yourself, whether it is a sport or a craft, and socialize you with other people. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.